Welcome everyone. Let me quickly introduce myself. I'm Geetika. I manage marketing for Sarva. So Sarva is the company, is a tech web technology company, and we are building MOI, which is world's first personalized blockchain protocol. MOI stands for My Own Internet. As the name suggests, we believe in building a user-centric protocol where we give more freedom to the end user to define how they want to design their product. So we launched a validator program almost a month back. So we decided to have some regular catch-ups over Zoom. This is our second call. So we'll be doing these calls every alternate Wednesday. The agenda behind these calls is to help each other in case somebody has any doubt or any concern, and we also welcome people who are interested in becoming validators to come and be part of these calls, so that in case they have any doubts, they can be resolved by their fellow validators rather than the core team. Ultimately, it is about building a uh, Ultimately, it is about building a network of 50,000 validators. We aim to reach that number by end of this year, and we want to see community leading this, validator effort rather than it coming from the company. So we have Mukesh with us today. We also have a previous session speaker, Madhu. Hi, Madhu.
Yeah, hi Gitika, hi everyone.
Hi. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Hope you're all doing good.
Nice. Yes, we are doing well. Hi, Mukesh.
Hi Geetika,
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
So, just if you would like to give a quick introduction to all of us.
So I am a validator in the MOI. I've been running a node for the past 1 month. I'm a blockchain enthusiast, you might say. Uh, I'm looking at opportunities building product on top of the evolving Web3 or 6, 5, whatever people call it,
Yeah,
and the potential it has to support uh, solving problems which are very real on ground. So yeah, that's me.
that's nice. How did you get introduced to Moy, Mukesh?
So I worked with Pankaj on one project in the past, and it's a very new field, right? I had interest in learning about how blockchain can be useful, what are the use cases, and I spoke to Pankaj, got to know so many things. He got me into learning and researching about the field, and yeah.
Oh, that's nice. So, for those of you who don't know, Pankaj is part of our dev team, and he's definitely a very important person in building the Moy protocol. So, great. So, Mukesh, are you a validator with any other blockchain as well, or only Moy?
I think you can call me. I'm going with the pace of MOI. So MOI is the first experimentation I'm doing, and then slowly building my knowledge and try out things. For now, no other project, but I'm learning about other projects.
That's interesting. So basically, you got started with your Web3 or like the blockchain journey with Moy, right?
Exactly.
Okay. So what do you think about like that whole take on decentralization versus personalization? I'll not say versus, it's more like extension of decentralization, added feature. So what do you think about that?
Uh, See, I'll be honest here.
Right.
When I was not learning about blockchain, from a very distant point of view.
Yeah.
So it was very hard for me to understand why we are aiming for decentralization, except for the fact, the example of banking system that people give in day-to-day explanation of blockchain and Web3.
The Bitcoin
So
versus banking one, right?
right. The financial value that is running into the ecosystem and how blockchain is going to revolutionize that.
Right.
Other than that, it was very difficult for me to understand what real value other than financial transaction. The uh, you know uh, is it going to you know uh, people at the ground level can understand and feel. So probably data is what we can connect it to. Data is storage, your privacy, your how you transact or behave in your digital world, your digital imprint, footprint, avatar, whatever you call it.
Right.
Slowly, after learning about the need for a decentralization in our digital identity as well as other forms of values we transact, not only money,
Right.
and that is where I understood how MOI is aiming for personalization and what it means in context of end user. The interesting thing for me is how other businesses who are going to build on top of the ecosystem are going to connect the end user with the benefits of this network.
That's nice. Yeah. I believe you are also exploring MOI to build some products, ideas that you have in your mind, right? You need not share if you're not comfortable right now. Just wanted to.
Uh, I'll just give a hint about what it is.
Sure, sure.
So there are a lot of pain points. So what we're talking about is a truly democratic network.
Right.
So and I feel there's a lack of democracy, and I call it degree of democracy. So there's a lack of democracy, even though people are calling themselves decentralized. They're not. They are not truly decentralized.
I
So
agree. Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, please go
and
ahead.
it's not a subject. It's not subject for today. It's something interesting to see how it will evolve. Uh, and I'm sorry. So all
No,
the pain points for people to connect to the network to truly create something which is democratic and decentralized. What are the pain points? What are the barriers of entry? So
right.
we're trying to solve that problem.
Nice. So, in the months that you have been MOI validator, how many MOI tokens have you received?
I don't have a count of it. Roughly, you can count around like 800 per node, maybe.
That's nice. So, how much effort you think it is managing a node on my network? Like, how much time do you think it takes on per week basis? Is it easy? Is it difficult? About the learning curve? What do you think about ease of becoming a validator?
See, I am from a very non-tech background, and I had to go through the coding and all. So it was little difficult for me, but I like learning new things. So it was very fun. It was very fun working at that level. Initially, it was little difficult to connect and understand the flow, what should go there, looking at what website already has. Madhu's blog helped a lot to
Awesome.
uh, yeah. So now lot less bugs when I'm running the node. Earlier, what happened, a lot of my nodes stopped for some reason. I don't know what.
Mm-hmm.
So rather than investing time in finding out why it happened, I rerun those nodes using the what Madhu has provided
Okay.
in the blog. So and I was checking it every day, going inside the MOI wallet for each of the account, how many coins they have acquired for the day, and if the health is 100% or not. And there was a need for an integrated platform. I know Moi is already working on it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So we are definitely looking to make the validator onboarding and management experience better. Dev team
Right.
is already working on it, as you mentioned. But I'm very glad to hear like how one effort by one community member, that's Madhu, is helping another community member, right? And Mukesh is also trying to help us with the validator onboarding. He has created how to become my validator video in Hindi, and he's kind of leading our efforts there. So Madhu's blog helped Mukesh, and Mukesh video might help others. So that's how a community that comes together and grows together is, it's a strong community. So I'm very happy with that. So What about your experience, Mukesh, with the validation program? Like, as you mentioned, that you are not from a tech background, so initially there was a bit of learning curve involved. But
Yeah.
having gone through that, like, what do you think the future looks like for more validators?
So what I have, based on my experience, I've spoken to people who already are from non-tech background, are already running nodes on it.
Right.
So they also went through the process of coding and testing if the node is live and how to see if everything's working fine before the dashboard starts showing you your tokens, right? So I see people. Not everyone has a tendency to go and code and are not very comfortable. So I have segregated people into two groups: the people who want to build into the system and people who just want to invest into the system. So
That's
for
so
people who just
interesting.
want to,
Yeah, please, please.
yeah. So uh, I've spoken to a lot of people, and uh, most of the people they are more towards the taxonomics of it. Uh, how long, how much, all these things. The very few people I've found they really like to go through the like building things, experimenting, something which they have not done in the past.
Right. That's nice.
And yeah, few other things that I would like to highlight.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Uh, the need, so you have to create a MOI ID, and then you have to use the ID, username, and password to set up your node and set the machine up,
Right.
and then you have to wait for 24 hours to see if the things are working fine, everything you're getting incentivized for your thing node, right? So people wanted, like, these are my family members, so I can get their passwords easily.
Okay.
Other people who are my friends or might not be my so close friend, they're not very comfortable sharing the password so that I can run the node for them, not for monetary benefits, but just to get people involved and see how it grows, right? So that was one problem. I think Pankaj already spoke to the team about it,
Right.
and we had to find out some workaround. We're coming up with a solution that can work around with it. Uh, so this was one major highlight of my experience.
That's amazing, Mukesh. Like, I appreciate your candid feedback on the whole process. And as I said, it is a community driven initiative. Ultimately, the best feedback and the best, you know, comments and this thing has to come from the community. And I'm very happy to see you part of it. So, what other videos are you planning to do for my validator community?
Uh,
You have
I,
anything in
I
mind?
don't.
Okay.
Yeah. So when the app comes, like anybody, it should be very easy to monitor and understand. First of all, there's a need for people to learn,
Right.
and without learning, if they want to go and reap benefits out of somebody else's efforts, is very difficult to happen. So they
Yeah.
have to learn what are the things that are involved. They have to learn how what value they will get out of it or not, or if they're really targeting value or they're targeting networking and ecosystem. Like, that is very important. Like slashing is one concept people should be aware of,
Right.
and that truly tells who is just there for benefit and who is there to support the ecosystem. So there is a mechanism to differentiate that, and people should be aware of that.
Nice. So, do you feel this can be like a alternate way of being part of Web3 without like getting into crypto trading? Because I see a lot of people want to get that slice of Web3, but they are scared to get into trading, especially given the way how markets are behaving recently.
Yeah, it's a very deep topic, and I I was listening to Ganesh talking, in the
Right.
Twitter call that we had earlier,
Yeah,
and
building
how the market,
membership. Yeah.
right. And for me, that has been my personal concern, because people who are putting their time and effort to build something should not be dependent on, what do we call it? Uh, such a, fragile market.
Right.
Like, how can you value something? Your value should be stable, right? So that should not be traded like, uh, you know speculative trading is what I want people to avoid, and think of value in long terms, not in terms of short term gain. And
That's a
the
very
movement, the market,
yeah.
yeah.
Please
So the
continue.
movement of the market and everything that it impacts is something which I think it's not going to be the same in coming years, because all the projects are targeting value now, and speculative trading is not what people want to be dependent on.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's a
That's
very
my take.
yeah. Nice, Mukesh. It was great having you here. Anyone else from the community would like to add anything or ask anything? Madhu, others, Pankaj, anyone? I see Sai is also here. Hi, Sai.
Yeah, I just want to thank Mukesh for the new ideas he's bringing, and it's helping a lot to improve our products. Thanks, Mukesh.
Thanks, Pankaj.
So I guess we'll conclude this call, and our ultimate agenda is always to finish this in half an hour if possible, because we don't want it to become like a long call. It has to be productive. So I request the community members to reach out and let me know what other sessions they would like to have, whom would they like to see featured here. And I would like to specially thank Mukesh, who took out his time to join us here, as well as for all the feedback and your efforts towards managing the Hindi community of MOI validators.
Thank you for having me in this call and allowing me to speak my mind out.
Definitely. We'll look forward to having you in all our calls, and let's build a great community, which, as you said, has value for others, like a value driven community. Yeah.
Right.
Madhu, you want to add something?
Yeah, I just heard what Mukesh said. Great job, Mukesh. Welcome to the community. So let's share our thoughts and ideas in the Discord community. Let's get connected. Along with all other folks on the social media. Um, so yeah, let's explore more. Let's we need more encouragement in terms of spreading the word. We need to write more blogs and articles, and publish some YouTube educational videos on how to participate in this thing. So let's do it very constantly.
Awesome. So I guess we'll end this call and let's take this movement forward. Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Gitika. It was a wonderful session. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mukesh. Thank you, Geetika, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.